Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's live video. You're with Adam Stott, your host this evening on Big Business Daily. Really looking forward to having a great chat tonight. Got loads and loads of cool stuff that we're going to be talking about. And I've really been asked by lots and lots of people to share some more info on social media. And obviously we've been training business owners over the past 4 years on social media, growing their presences, growing their following and building their brands through social media. And we've got some massive, huge success stories. And what I decided to do is actually bring on a couple of those success stories tonight and get them to talk to you about their experiences, so they can talk to you a bit about social media, talk about their businesses, the things that they've done. So as you come on tonight, make sure you say a big hello in the comments. And this is actually a really good opportunity for every single one of you that's joining to get your say and ask questions. So if you've got questions that you want to ask on social media, of course, I can certainly answer them, but I think it's also really valuable for you to be able to ask two business owners in different industries, completely different industries, on their experiences. So the people I'm going to be bringing on tonight, one of them is someone that I've shown her testimonial on every single webinar, every single social webinar that I've done. And always gets a lot of feedback, a lot of comments on that video testimonial, because Stephanie has built a fantastic business off the back of using social media. So her company is, she's got a company called PrettynPersonal, and what she does with her company is she does personalized items for people, originally in the wedding industry, but now does personalized items for Christmas and personalized gifts. And what started as a very, very small business has grown into a really, really good business that's enabled her to really change her life and get fantastic results. And she's been featured in massive publications, things like Hello Magazine. She had several very large influencers buy her products, buy her services, and we'll ask a little bit about that, and create some massive, massive results. And in the real early days, by the way, there's tons of you on tonight. So as you come on, make sure you say a big hello and welcome Stephanie on, because she's coming on in a moment, along with Debbie. I'm going to tell you about in a moment. So yeah, really, really achieved some amazing results and done some great stuff. And when I first started out doing the social media events, Stephanie was actually one of my very, very first clients that we ever trained. And she went on to do so well that we got her training the events with us, and she did some of the trainings, and she was always really well regarded, and everybody loved the content and the information that she used to share, especially around some of the audiences she used to build. So she did some great stuff. So you can have the opportunity to ask her questions and engage with her this evening. Now, we're not just going to talk social media, we're going to talk a lot of social media, but we're going to have some fun as well. And we're going to make sure that we ask some of those multiple choice questions a lot of you seem to have been enjoying so far. So we're going to do a bit of that too. And I'm also bringing on Debbie Bryan as well, who is somebody that came to one of our events probably about 3 years ago. I think Stephanie's been with us about 5 years. Debbie's been with us about 3 years. And when she came to one of our events originally, she was running multiple people's social media platforms and really working in a marketing capacity, and had done quite well. She had some really large accounts, and she was spending, thousands and thousands and thousands on advertising, one huge account that she couldn't spend enough on, and really got to grips with running the ads. And she did some additional training with us and created some even better results. And she went on to build a really good agency. And more recently, she's actually been training and coaching people in social media. She's took a couple of the concepts that I've taught and run with them, and really helped a lot of people, which I'm always for. If someone's our client, I'm always supporting them. She's done a fantastic job with that too. Now, there's tons of you, loads of you coming on tonight. So we've got, first of all, we've got Mary saying, hey, really looking forward to this, Adam. Well, make sure you ask lots of questions tonight, Mary, in the comments. We've got Claire saying, hey, as well. We've got Dan saying, good evening, everybody. We've got Joe Wick saying, hello. We've got, Claire saying, hey. We've got Mary saying, loving the Movember Tash. Well, it wasn't purposeful, to be fair, but I appreciate that anyway. And they're both giggling in the background, I can assure you. So we've got Brooke saying, good evening. How you doing, Brooke? And we've got Adbola saying hello, and we've got Snell saying good evening as well. So tons of you coming on, which is awesome. So I'm going to bring Debbie on. I'm going to bring Steph on. Give them a big welcome in the comments. Make sure you've got any questions you want to ask, you pop them in the comments. It could be that you're looking to grow your Facebook pages, your Instagram pages, your Twitter pages, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, whatever you want to ask. You've got the opportunity to do that. If you want to ask about Facebook ads, Facebook ad accounts, you want to ask about managing people's pages, anything you want to ask, you can throw it in the comments, and we're going to go through that this evening. Let's bring on Stephanie and Debbie. So big welcome to you both. How are we doing? I'm going to unmute you now. How are we doing? We both good?
Yeah, all good. All good. I've got my Christmas tree here. I'm set up. I'm ready for an evening.
So you're ready for the whole evening, yeah? Well, it could be the whole evening. If those questions start flowing, I can tell you it can go long. But hopefully, it could be really, really good tonight in terms of there's a lot of people wanting help on social. So it'd be really, really interesting. Steph, how are we doing down there? Are we good? Oh, you're still muted, I believe. Can you hear us, sweetheart? Oh, well, no, I don't think so. Can we hear Steph? Turn that volume up, sweetie. I'll let you work on that for a minute, and then we'll put you in once that's working. Just shout when you're ready to rock and roll. So we've got lots of comments coming in. We've got Sunil saying hi. I think both of you will know Sunil. So hi to Debbie and hi to Stephanie. We've got Mary saying the same. We've got a question in already from Joe Wicks, and this is a question Stephanie's really good at. How do I choose a good quality audience? So we're going to talk about all of that this evening. So keep flowing those questions in. So Steph, have we got you now? Can you hear us all right, darling? We can't hear you just yet. No. Have you tried without the earphones? Come on, Jim will fix it. So Stephanie's husband, Jim, is famed for being a problem solver. So he's going to come in and sort that out. In the meantime, Debbie, I'll ask you a couple of questions while Stephanie gets sorted.
Okay.
How's things been for you? So not only have you really evolved on your bringing your social to a new level and creating great results, you've actually been on the road with us and you've trained probably at 20 or 30 different events with us now. How's that been? Have you enjoyed that process? How's that been for your development and being around this kind of stuff all the time and helping and training entrepreneurs?
It's been amazing, to be honest. I really, really enjoyed it. I think managing people's social media can be quite isolating, and you don't get out and get the feedback, and you don't see the impact that it's having on people. So I've loved it. We have great fun. We meet some really interesting people, and I've really enjoyed it. But in terms of my development, I think being aware of like the sales process and the strategies and stuff that need to come after the social media, I think that's really helped me to kind of grow the other side of my business, where I'm helping people pass the social media. So otherwise you just help with social media and then there's no process after that. And so, it's been really good fun. So,
yeah, I think that's a big thing in terms of what I'll do is I'll just I'll let you sort that out, Stephanie, and I'll add you back in a minute, right? When you got that sorted. I think it's a big thing that people sometimes believe that social media can be that magic wand. You weigh it over your business and bang, you're going to get the leads, you're going to get the sales, you're going to get everything that you want. Where the reality is, you're exactly right, it's what comes after. You generate the leads, you generate the traffic using social media, then you go out and you operate your business in the right way. So what would you say are the fundamentally important skill sets that you think that you've learned that you really think you need in terms of growing a business after social media?
So in terms of growing after social media is to have that strategy, to have an actual process so that once you get a lead in, that you do something with it. One of the biggest things that I found with my clients is I would get a lead for them and they could have plenty of leads and then they just didn't do anything with it. They didn't have any more process to it after that. So it was very much Facebook might not work for me, and it actually wasn't that. So I guess I learned that I need to be a little bit more just that little step further. You can't just give people a bunch of leads and then say goodbye. You have to have that process from it and coach them so that they've got a sales strategy and just to get their message out properly, get their message out of something that they can achieve.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. And we always talk about speed, going out there fast and, making sure that you go back to those leads really, really quickly and getting those results. So we've got a ton of people asking. We've got questions coming in already. The first question that we've got from Joe Wicks, and we're going to answer any social media questions you want to ask tonight. So make sure you go and put them in the comments. You've got anything you want to know. Can be you're trying to grow a Facebook page, an Instagram page. It could be you're trying to get leads, whatever it is you want. whatever it is that you want and you need to grow your business, this is an absolutely amazing opportunity for you to get your question and answers completely live. So make sure you go and ask that question. So what would you say, Debbie, on target audiences? What would your opinion be? I mean, you know, you've seen us do this now for hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs. And if Debbie's helped you at one of our events, go and put in the comments as well, because you train a lot of people when you've been out with us. What would you say on that, Deb? What's the important thing that you're considering when building those target audiences?
When building the target audience, I think it's, I guess it's having people that will have an interest. So I think it's, you know, if someone's going to get a lead or get a contact, then they think that that's going to be the buyer. So it's about having a broad audience in the right demographic area. So like geographically, are they going to be able to, if you've got a shop, are they going to be able to come to a shop? If you've got a product, is it going to be the right age group? Is it about just that first contact, or is it about retargeting, so reaching out to these people over and over again so that you get a better audience? I find that gets really good results if you start looking at, you know, people who've seen your website or people who've seen your ads, and then you go back to those people, which obviously Facebook has the ability to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good results.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people overlook retargeting, and they overlook retargeting in a big way. And frankly, if you're not doing retargeting, you're missing a huge opportunity. And the reality is, it doesn't even matter what platform we're talking about. If you're missing retargeting and you're doing YouTube ads and you're not doing it on YouTube, then you're making a massive mistake. If you're doing Facebook or Instagram ads and you're not using retargeting, you're also making a massive mistake. Really important, because at the end of the day, you know, the way I've always described it is like this: is when it comes to building your audience, right? The thing that's really important is the depth of your audience, so the relationship you have with the depth. A lot of people think it's about width. It's about how do you get more, how do you get this big following? How do you get masses and masses of people to follow you? And the reality is, what really matters is how do you build a relationship with someone online, turn that into an inquiry, turn that into a lead, and then start that process where you're going to be dealing with someone in that business way and build a relationship. And it's so much easier to do if you're doing your retargeting. So it's so much quicker. And really, there's only two types of ads. There's your prospecting ads and there's your retargeting ads. So your prospecting ads are the ads that you go out there and you use to build the awareness of you, build your brand, get people to know you. And the retargeting ads are the ads that you use to build that relationship and further the relationship. So I think we've got Stephanie in, and hopefully this is going to work. How are we doing, sweet? You all right?
Can you hear me?
Yay.
Well done. Can you just do a wave for us so we know you're there?
No.
we was having this little joke before about waving and stuff like that. So Stephanie, welcome on. How you doing?
Hello.
You're all good, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit? Do you want to give? I haven't actually asked either of you to do a short intro. So do you want to give a short intro to who you are, Steph? What your business has done, and tell us a little bit about that. That'd be cool. If you,
So I've got a personalisation company called PrettynPersonal. I started it back in 2014. It wasn't ever in theory meant to be the size of that it is now. It was literally just it was just basically like pocket money at the time. And I think, when did I come to you? 2017. It must have been end of 2016. And at the time, I was actually working for my dad's print company. He'd retired and handed it over to me and my sister, and it was on its last legs, like it was ready to go. And we come along to one of your open days, and I sat there and I thought, oh yeah, we can do this with a print company, but I can also do this. And as many of you know, I went one way, my sister went another way, and I've carried on climbing. And I'm here now with Stott, and it's right. She's not in the group. She can't see this.
You should know. This is going out of my page as well, sweetheart.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Cheers.
Going to be a Christmas in that house now.
Yeah, no, yeah. Thanks for ruining Christmas now.
Well, you've absolutely flown. Let's focus on you've absolutely flown. You built what sort of audience you got on Facebook now in terms of your following?
So Facebook, we're about 53,000, and Instagram, we're just under 18,000.
Okay. And you've sold products basically all over the world now, haven't you, to people?
Oh, they've gone, Bali, Dubai, America, New Zealand, Australia. Like, it's crazy. Like, from when I think that the person who come to that event that day, who I was even scared of putting my hand up, thinking, oh my God, he's going to ask me a question. He can't ask me a question. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to sit quietly and watch other people do this. So now, it's crazy. It's mental, like, the difference.
You have built a fantastic business, and without a shadow of a doubt, it's really grown. And what I think is going to be quite inspiring, and I think this is quite inspiring, because where you started from is you started as somebody that wanted this business to be a pocket money type thing. And I meet women all the time that want to sell products online, that want to start a side business, find a way of sort of generating extra income. And not only did you do that, you know, you got that going, you went on and you've actually scaled it and grown it. And then where the challenges have come for you. And I was explaining the other day on one of the lives that I did, you know, when somebody starts a business in the beginning, you're starting that business, you're putting your energy, you're putting your effort into it, you're growing it. And as you're growing it and things start to move, and it starts to move reasonably quickly. And when it starts to work, that's all good. You start to get the sales and it's growing. But then you get out that beginner stage and you get into the next stage where actually it's not a pocket money business anymore. It's not a business that you can run on your own. It is something that you have to bring in help. You have to bring in employees. You have to bring in people in your market, and you've got to start to develop a business out of it. And I think for you, you know, you've gone past that stage, but you really, that was kind of a struggle for you at times, wasn't it? So you found that very challenging, didn't you?
Yeah, I found it really difficult. I come from a family that's got a business. So, like, I've always watched my dad in business, but in theory, I actually never knew how to run a business. And it was like, I think for most people, their biggest challenge is getting sales. How am I going to sell it? But I think you'll probably agree that has never been my problem. My problem is great, I've sold all of this stuff, but now how am I going to manage my stuff? How am I now going to ship 400 orders out in 3 days? And all of those things that I think, well, I've sat how many times have I sat with you and cried and said, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's growing too quickly.
Well, you found a way, haven't you? You found a way through, and you made it happen. So we've got a load of people coming in, and absolutely, as I said, we've got Stephanie on tonight. Just as a quick recap, in case you're joining now, I know there's a lot of watching. A lot of you are already asking questions, and we will come to that. But if you want to ask any questions to Debbie, if you want to ask any questions to Stephanie, you can do that tonight. Debbie's got a lot of experience in managing and running people's social media accounts, in building other businesses through social media, and she's worked on the road with us at tons of our events. So she's actually been involved in training hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs with us. Stephanie has built an e-commerce business that's pretty much changed her life and got some amazing results. And she now ships orders out all over the world and has built her business very, very effectively. And she's done that all through the use of social media. So you've got the opportunity to ask two very smart ladies tonight some great questions. So if you put those in there, we'll answer those. Okay, so Debs, in terms of, you know, challenges for yourself, and what we want to do is, before we get into those questions, I want to ask a question for those people that are watching tonight that are kind of starting up or that beginning stages. What were your biggest, your top 3 struggles when you were starting out? That's what I'd like to know from the both of you, just to kick it off so we can get a bit of background. So Deb, if you want to start us off, then we go to Steph. What were kind of the top 3 struggles at the beginning? We get a lot of people watching these lives, particularly that are at starting stage of a business or an early stage of a business, and are going to experience some of those challenges. And I want to just give them the opportunity to get a bit of advice, get a bit of growth there, and then we're going to get into some more advanced stuff afterwards. What would you say, Deb, to that?
So my top 3 would be, one was knowledge. So when I first started my social media business, I started on my kitchen table. I was working for somebody and they pulled out of a contract, and literally the owners of one of the businesses phoned me up and said, Deb, do you want to put this contract on? The other people have pulled out. And I was just doing all their bookings and stuff and not actually doing the social media side of it. There's somebody else that did that. And so when they said, did I want to take the contract on? Obviously I said yes. And then I thought,
obviously you said yes. This is the difference. Most people would have said no, right? You didn't know how to do it. right? And this is actually an important lesson. And, you know, and again, if you've got questions, you can ask them in the comments on this, but it's an important lesson. You know, a lot of people would have said no, because I don't know how to do that. And that fear is going to kick in. And you didn't. You said yes. And you had no idea how to do.
No.
And then got the knowledge afterwards. So fair play to you. That's a good move. So
I literally had to teach myself on my kitchen table. I used to have somebody who did my social media, and he was busy. So I knocked on my neighbour's door and said, come and build me a website and a booking platform. And we sat at my kitchen table for 2 weeks, and we launched the business in 2 weeks. And that was my first social media contract. So I say that was quite a struggle in the beginning, but it was fun. It was great fun. And we kind of buzzed really that we did it. And then when it started to grow, I didn't really have any guidance. I was on my own. And obviously I blagged my way into it in the first place, so I couldn't ask anybody doing that. So on the outside, they thought I was a bit like a swan, you know, like smooth on the outside and pedaling madly underneath. I was a swan for quite a long time. And then I asked for some help. I think I had a phone call with you a couple of months in, because I taught myself on social media. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, and that everybody else used all this jargon and everybody else talked in terminology that I didn't really use myself. And so I thought, maybe they all know more than I do. Maybe they're getting better successes and stuff.
Knowledge was the first one. Needing some help was the second one. Actually, you know, was it acknowledging that you needed that help was difficult?
Yeah.
And what was the third one?
I never do it myself. So that's hard. That was quite hard for me to kind of reach out for help, especially as obviously, you know, I've got this veneer on the outside that I absolutely knew what I was doing, and I was doing fine. So I think I met you, and I sat with Chris Cook. I'm sitting in the market with Chris Cook on a very hot day doing social media. And my third one was how to scale it, really, how to then grow it. So once I got that success, because I was behind the scenes, it was like, how do I get out and tell people what I'm doing?
You struggled with a lot, isn't it, in terms of, you know, actually going out there and recognizing that you need to build a brand. We'll come back to that afterwards for sure. So Stephanie, what about you? What were your biggest struggles in the beginning? Tell us a bit about, you know, where you started from. It was quite humble, really. So why don't you talk a little bit about that, and then tell us what the challenges were right in the early days for you?
So it was really difficult, because the thing was that working from being in a family business, you somewhat just get given jobs sort of thing and just assume that you know how to do them, or you have to set your own paths in the business to try and take it somewhere else. And when your dad's the boss, it's quite difficult to understand when's the next stage sort of thing, like when's your next career, like step up in your career. And when Dad was like, I don't want to do this anymore, I was like, oh my God, how exciting. Like, I'm going to have his lifestyle. I'm going to be able to have this huge house, this nice car. Like, I'm going to be able to give my daughter everything. And he gave me this business. And I was like, oh, this isn't actually that fun. Like, don't know what I'm doing, so I'll just turn up to work and carry on filing my paperwork as I have done for the last 10 years. And when I started PrettynPersonal, it was such a niche, and I didn't really know how to grow a niche. Like, I was on Facebook, and I remember I'd put a picture up of a dressing gown, and someone would message me and be like, can I order it? And I'd be like, yeah, of course you can, that's fine. But it wasn't, they weren't huge companies on social media at that time. And I didn't know if it would be. So I think one of my biggest challenges was, one, my fear. Was it going to be good enough? What about if people didn't like it? Then what?
I think you've touched on something that's very honest of you, Steph, right? And, you know, a lot of people have that fear. You know, what if it isn't good enough? What if people don't like it? You know, and if you put in the comments, if you've ever felt like that before, you've had some fears that have held you back, I think it's quite brave of you to say, because it's, you know, how did you overcome that fear once you got past that struggle? What did you do?
I overcome it just by purely keep going to your events. Like, let's face it, there's plenty of times that you asked me to do things and I walked out the room, or I hid behind somebody else, or I busied myself doing something else. Like, and I think there was one time when I was like, no, I've got to go home. Like, I don't want to do a video. And I remember Ross followed me down the hallway, and I was like, I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. And he was like, if you just do it once, you've done it. And I then started to do like Instagram stories and stuff. And I remember looking at the orders coming through, and it's really weird. Like now, 2 years on from doing that first Instagram video, and I think, my God, it was light years. Well, I remember I had a reindeer filter on me. I was that scared of people seeing me and like judging me. And I think that's a huge fear for a lot of people, that they feel like people are going to judge them, especially when you put yourself on social media. You're opening yourself up to a world of all different types of people that are mean just for the sake of being mean, people that want to see you succeed, and you don't know what type of person you're going to get back. And it's like now, especially during the lockdown.
Like, what's the worst kind of things that, I know, Debbie, you had some bad comments once, didn't you? But
I had a troll, yeah, but I just took that as like, you know, every single car's got a troll, so I felt like I'd made it.
But this is reality. Has anyone ever really said anything that bad to you, Steph? Really? You do videos all the time now. You've cracked video. Very confidently, done really well.
Yeah, let's be honest. I do feel like if someone said something bad to me, I'd be like, whatever. Now,
yeah, good.
Yeah, but like I've had like really, you just get strange people, I guess is the only way to do it. Especially when you're doing a live, they just seem to attract strange humans.
This is the fantastic way to endear yourself to the audience, Steph. Well, not on our live. We've got loads of lovely people. We've got loads of comments.
Yeah, well, we're in a safe zone here.
Before he's in the safe zone, it's on YouTube. It's everywhere, sweetheart. Right. So we've got a question. We've got loads of questions coming in. We're going to get to the questions. They're going to keep flowing. So that was a challenge for you. Your fears, overcoming video was a challenge for you. What was the number 3 for you? And then we're going to start to get into some of these questions that are on it tonight.
I think it's always been myself. Like, as you know, I've got ADHD, so my head all the time is muddled. It's the only way I can describe it. I've got a million things that I want to get on paper, into production, out. I've got a million things that need to be done, and as you know, like, how many times have we sat and we've put in processes and stuff? Like, it was only a few months ago, I think, that we done it in Gold Circle, where we put another process in place. And that has been one of my biggest struggles, is realising, especially during the lockdown, I'd realised once my staff went in the office with me, how much they actually go behind me and demuddle everything that I sort of left for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so actually, you know, so really you're saying that the ADHD has been a big challenge for you. You know, you're finding that's been a challenge. You know, complete kudos to you for keeping going and working through that anyway, because a lot of people would kind of maybe even lean on that as an excuse, where you powered through it and you've done really, really, really well. And actually, it's probably encouraging for anyone out there that is a business owner that maybe suffers from the same thing. And maybe they don't even know they suffer from it. I mean, you know, and I know that it's quite serious sometimes for you. But a lot of people might not even know. You know, I've been told over the years that I've got ADHD many, many times. You know, I've been told so many times that, you know, it would almost convince me that I had. But, you know, if whether I had or didn't, you know, it's not something that I'd let stop me either. And I think that's the mentality you got to have. Okay, so we had a question. Debbie's already answered this question. I'm going to get you to take a shot at it, Steph. And this is something when you used to come and do some training with us, and you actually did some of the trainings at our Rockstar Social events. You used to do a fantastic presentation around target audiences. And we've had a really good question come in from Joe, who's asked about target audience. And remember, if you're watching, say hello to Debbie, say hello to Steph. You got questions you want to ask, come in and ask them. Social media, business, fears, challenges, whatever you want to know, we're here to answer it tonight. So, Steph, what would you say in terms of choosing a target audience? What for you is important?
You need to think as your customer. You can't think as the seller to a buyer. It doesn't work like that, because you're only thinking of yourself then. You need to think where your customer is. What age group are they? Where are they in the world? What are they doing in their day-to-day lives? Are they a family person? Do they have children? Like, it's everything. Are they at the gym? What restaurants are they going to? What TV programs are they doing? What type of cars are they into? It's literally like, for me, when I think of my ideal client, she's anything from 20 up to 35. She's somebody that is going on holidays and things, somebody that's on social media trying to impress other people. So she's shopping at all like the online companies, ASOS, Zara, things like that, is you have to just completely tear apart you as a person and what you want to sell to that person who's buying from you.
That's actually that is, whether you got it or not, I hope you did, those of you that are watching, that is an incredible piece of advice. You know, any business should always start out with the who. Who is it you're serving? Who is it you're helping? And if you get into the mind of your client and you focus in that way, you can get so much of a better result. And this is the thing, a lot of people always try to sell to the person that they are, right? Where the reality is, you're not selling your own stuff to you, you're selling it to someone else, and you've got to understand that person. So that's really, really great advice. And we've got loads of questions in, so we're going to cover plenty more of those tonight. So great answer there, Steph. So we've got Adita saying hello. We've got Chris Clowes, who you both know, saying evening, ladies. He's on tonight. We've got Katie Malik watching. We've got Brooke watching. We've got Merad watching. And actually, Merad saying that he's telling us a bit about his struggles there as well, which we'll come to. Where are we? We've got somebody who wants to talk to me personally, Samson, no problem. We've got, I think, Mary saying Debbie's been a massive help. We've got Dan Moses on tonight as well. We've got Brooke saying that he's had lots of help as well. Dan saying plenty more. We've got, cool, Debbie, you're getting a few comments here.
I know.
Yeah, people saying you're amazing. We've got Dan Moses saying hello to me. We've got somebody else saying you got in there before me. And this is when you actually came on, Steph, this comment. Adabola said, finally, he was looking forward to hearing from you. So certainly got that now. And then somebody said, Christmas has just got really awkward.
Nah, it'll be fine.
I think there's, so I think this one's coming from Sheena. I'm sure this is from Sheena. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll come back to that in a minute. How much do you expect to pay on Facebook ads? It's a very generalized question, but I'll let you both answer. I'll see what to do here. Is just talk about more of your philosophy on Facebook ads. Obviously, I've trained so many people on it now, but you're two of the people that've been through our trainings. And then not only have you been through our trainings, you've then gone out and done your own things and operated in your own way. So you've got your own ideas now. You've cultivated your own ideas as well. So I'd love you to share in terms of what your thoughts are on this, in terms of what do you expect to pay on Facebook ads. Of course, it depends on certain things. Who wants to kick us off on that?
I'll go first if you like.
Okay, Debs.
In terms of what you pay on Facebook ads, it really depends on the product that you're selling. So if you're selling something that's really easy and really attractive, then you would have a better lead spend than if you were selling something that was, say, like financial stuff, something that's going to be less attractive, and you're going to need to be a little bit better with the copy and with the hook. But what most people don't understand is that Facebook, to get a lead or to get contact on Facebook is just the first step. So if you want to spend pennies on a live video, so if you want to do a video ad and then do retargeting after that, you're going to do something for pennies. You might end up doing, I've done aesthetics where leads have come in for, say, like £2-3. So they've come in for £2-3, but it's been for like £300 worth of services, and people have like messaged and done appointments. So there isn't one answer for it, but it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, what your end goal is. If you want to sell a high-ticket item, then you're going to expect to spend a little bit more on the ads. And then again, it comes back down to that process that you've got once you've got that contact.
Absolutely. Steph, do you want to fly in on this?
Yeah, I would completely agree. For us, we're obviously products, so they do tend to run cheaper, as long as like your copy and your imagery is good. I mean, our average is we normally run at about 12p, up to about a £60 order we get off of that. And it's a difficult question to answer in theory, because without knowing exactly what the product or the service is.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is this, is one of the things that we've taught is it's all about return on investment. This is the reality. Let's say you sell something that when you sell it, if it's going to make you 10 grand, well, it doesn't really matter if it costs you £1,000 to get that 10 grand sale. That's the reality. If you're going to sell something that's 10 quid, you can't spend £20 trying to sell it. No. Right? You've got to have your ad budget and your strategy in complete proportion as to what you want to do with your business. And if you get to proportion, then you can create great results. And one of the things, Steph, you always said to me, Adam, I hate numbers. Get these numbers away from me. But when it came to the ads, you didn't hate the numbers, did you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't hate the numbers, yeah.
No.
And why is that?
I really liked them. We had an ad running for a couple of months, and it was the slippers one. So we sell these slippers, and they're something like £2.50. So they are really, really cheap. And I'm awful with I just really hate numbers. I'm fine spending money. Don't want to look at it.
If you hate numbers too, put numbers.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with them though. And
but you do. I think you have to.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you definitely have to now. And I remember we sat down and we had we set out like a spreadsheet for it all. And I was sitting next to Ross, and I'm going to Ross, I'm sure I'm doing this wrong. Like, this return on like the ad spend like really can't be making sense. Because at the moment it's working out that like the purchase price sort of thing is this. I said, but it's only costing me like 0.02. So I honestly, I kept putting these numbers back in, and I was like, it's literally cost me 0.02 to get these clients onto the website to buy something. And they're not even just buying the slippers now, they're buying the dressing gown, they're buying the boxes. I was like, this is the best ad ever. And I literally, at the start of January, like when it kicks off the wedding season, I turn that ad on, and that's it. Like we're swamped for orders straight away.
Awesome. And that's the thing. How important is it? And this is one thing I'll say, which is really good bit of what you just said, dissecting it a little bit. It's a really good advice for people, is you want to have a catalogue of ads that, if you know your ads well, right? If you know them well and you're using Facebook ads, and you get to know them well and you get to understand how it works, what you can do is have a catalogue of ads that will drive your business, that you can turn up, you can turn down, you can put in play, you can take out of play, that can go and drive your business very, very quickly. Now, someone might ask, why won't you just keep them on all the time? But it's exactly what Steph just said there. If you know the seasons and know when people do respond and when they don't respond, you're going to work with the seasons. And if you get, and one of the things that I said during Marbella, Steph came on our Marbella retreat, is that, we want to get ahead of the calendar. You want to understand what offers and what deals you've got and what opportunities you've got in January, in February, in March, in April, in May. And you get ahead of the calendar, and you can get your mix right, your marketing mix right in terms of moving forward, you can create some epic results. That's really awesome, good stuff. So we've got a questionee. We've got a questionee. That's what we're going to call the questions to Steph. Right, so we've got a few comments here. Katie saying so true. About the fear of being judged, absolutely. So Brooke saying the same thing. Mary saying it's kept her stagnant. Just quickly, what would you say to someone that is stagnant because of this reason? Because they don't want to put themselves out there, because they're afraid. One quick bit of advice from both of you who hated it, who've now overcome it. Do you wish you'd done it sooner? And what should they do if they're still stagnant? Tell them straight, quick.
Just do
I
it.
wish, 100%. Just get over it.
Just flip the camera, do the video, and just be done.
Yeah.
Just
do it, yeah? In the words of Nike, just do it. So we've got Katie saying great tips there from Steph on the target audience. We've got Brooke saying amazing advice. We've got Shazan saying hope you're well. Louise saying love this, I'm having coaching as well. I have ADHD too, and it's so inspiring to hear from Steph. And actually, Louise, I remember the call. I had a call with Louise, and I was speaking to Louise, and she told me that at the time, and I referenced you, Steph, and some of the ways you've handled it. So it might be worth you both connecting for sure. Yeah. Okay, so we've got lots of questions coming in. So we've got a question on businesses. How do you target businesses on Facebook, not individuals? Let's say I have a product, I want to target restaurant owners where possible. So what would you answer this, ladies? And remember, get your questions in the comments. You got anything you want to ask away. Make sure you come say hello to Steph and Debbie. They're giving up their time tonight to support you all and give you loads of good content. So make sure you say hello. So Steph, what you got to say this one, darling? Or Debbie, whoever wants to go first. Debbie, this is probably more your bag, I reckon. You're thinking that. I can read your mind, Steph. Yeah.
So I would say for restaurant owners, it's exactly the same, really. You can look at a restaurant owner and think, what is it that they would be interested in? So the ads just need to talk to the person. That person, when they're looking at an ad, should just be like, they're talking to me. They're talking my language. So you'd be looking at what interest a restaurant owner would have, but where they're going to get their products from, what customers are they trying to attract, so that they're in that same arena. You wouldn't really target you obviously would look at a demographic, but it's about getting the ad to talk to the restaurant owner as such, and talk about the products, talk about what you've got and what pain points there are that you can solve. So if you're selling a product, I don't know, if you're selling something, there's some guys we had that were going to do allergies. So if you were going to find a way on the menu so that people could scan the menu and look at allergies, that's where you'd be talking about something that's happened or something that's happened in the press, so that person's got an interest in it.
Absolutely. Steph, do you want to jump in on this? Or
yeah, I agree with Debs on this one. It's not, you've still got to think of the owner. At the end of the day, the owner's a human being, and if you can tap if you can tap into that person, I would even say, like, if that's the person that you're going for is a restaurant owner, go and sit outside a restaurant and wait for the owner. Go and see what type of cars they're driving. Go and see what type. Don't obviously stalk them, like hold it back on that level. Or even just go into a restaurant and ask if you can speak to the owner and ask him what his ambitions are. Like, what does he do in his, like, that's the quickest route, is go and speak to these people.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what I think that's absolutely nailed on there is this is a thing. Forget that you're marketing to a business, because you ain't marketing to a business. This is reality. If you're a business owner and you're watching this right now, put business in the comments. So go and literally take your finger off now, whatever you're doing, go and put business in the comments so we can see it. And this is the reality. You know, even though you're a business and you see all the personal profiles come up saying business, 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 the reality is you're a person, you're an individual. I think where people really go wrong with their marketing is they try to market to a business and they go into like corporate speak and they're trying to talk to somebody that runs a business, but they're totally not doing that. A business is not faceless. A business is a person, and you've got to understand who that person is and what it is they do, and you've got to target them in that way. We do all of our marketing towards business. We work with business owners. That's what we do. And we don't talk to businesses. We talk to business owners. All right. And that's what you got to do. You got to go after the human aspects. And we've got loads of e-commerce in business, as we can see. So I've got another question. This one's for you, Steph. Stephanie, where did you source the products from when you first started out? Also, did you plan to grow the way you have? As you mentioned, it was pocket money. Well done, by the way. So you know Sunil, I imagine, Steph, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hello. Yeah.
So where did I source from? So I was, my role in the family business at the time was in workwear. So I'd already had so many connections with where to source and to be able to print, basically. And I remember it all started, a woman walked in at the time. We also had like a florist company, just setting up like events and things, and another sideline business. And one of my brides walked in and she was like, "Oh, you don't know where you can get personalised dressing gowns from, do you? Like, I'm really struggling in the UK to find them." And at the time, it wasn't a product over here at all. It was an American product. And I was like, "No, I don't, sorry." And I went home and I'm going to gym. Oh, I've had this bride come in today. She's asking me about like dressing gowns. Like, I'm doing her flowers and she's asking me about dressing gowns. And my husband was like, "Steph, you do embroidery and print for like huge corporate companies. Like, have you not thought that all you just need to do is go and source a dressing gown?" And I went to market and I'd done some research and I found a company up in Scotland who I actually still work with now. So 6 years in, and I started from that. And then I went into designing my own garments and my own sleepwear range. And I found factories. It was all trial and error. I've spent so much on bad factories and bad items, but along the way I found really, really good factories, and you build up just relationships with them. And it's also a lot with speaking to, like, you should never be scared to speak to somebody in the same area of business that you do. And in the print world it is quite difficult because everyone does feel like they're all treading on each other's toes. But I've learned over this lockdown to speak to other personalisation companies. What is it that we're all struggling with? And through it, I've actually ended up setting up, one of my things was that I wanted to set up a wholesale company within the UK. So reaching out to other similar companies and not so much gleaning other people's knowledge, but building like a foundation. And it's actually got me clientele for my next business that I'm going to open up in the new year. So yeah, it's just a lot of research.
I think that really good advice, 100%. And this is the thing, go out and have the conversations. Nothing happens in business unless you speak to people. Nothing happens. And the reality is you'll find your way to the right place if you go and have the conversations. And the other thing I like there, what Stephanie said, is that, Jim actually said, did you not see this opportunity? And I would say to anyone that's watching tonight, sometimes, your path or your direction of where you're going in your business or your life, you might think you're going one way, but this amazing opportunity comes up and something comes out of nowhere. Don't have your eyes closed to opportunities. You've got to open the doors, not leave them closed. If you leave them closed, you can't move forward. If you open the doors, that's when new things happen to you. And all of a sudden, off the back of that, that's spawned into a massive business for you, Stephanie, a complete change in your life, complete change in your lifestyle because of that conversation. So, Jim does add the odd bit of value over and above a chicken burger, doesn't he?
Well, I still think the chicken burgers are still winning up there at the moment.
Yeah, Jim's a great guy. He's a great cook, and Steph has a little saying for him, but I don't think you should say it on there tonight. That you often say, and I like to remind Jim that he's got some great value there for you. So I'm sticking up for him. All right. So we've got another message coming. Sometimes on the group I can't actually see the names, but someone's just said I've got some great help from Stephanie on the logo for my new business. I think that might be Amy. Amy's been on. She's been throwing out hearts. So she's been giving me some support there. So give it a wave there. So we've got someone saying hello all. Just can't see those ones on the group. We've got Sheena saying looking good, Adam. Thank you very much. We've got Debbie saying. So we've got Debbie saying, Debbie and Stephanie, what are your biggest social media tips? Let's go to that question. Let's just have a nice broad question. Why don't you give out, let's say, 2 or 3 social media tips? It can be on anything you want. All right, so let's go to you, Debbie, for what's your tip 1?
Okay, so my first tip is to just get on social media and make some noise. Everybody's really shy. Everyone's really scared of the feedback. Everyone's really frightened to just get on and do it. So I just think if you go on, if you do some lives, if you talk, if you show some content, then people will start to notice you. And don't be afraid to put it on your personal page if it's about you.
Okay, absolutely. Is that your next tip about? Why don't you make your next tip about personal page?
Okay. Do you want me to do it now, or is Steph doing one?
Crack on.
Okay. So my other one is.
You might as well. There's no pausing.
Okay. So it took me a long time to, like I said earlier on, it took me a long time to go out and tell people what I did. I was really lucky that I lived on referrals for absolutely years and years and years, and so didn't need to do anything. And so then I shied away from putting stuff on my personal page because I was like, no one over there will be interested in what I'm doing. It's all kind of, I just do my thing. I'm a bit like Chandler from Friends, where no one really knows what I do, or they didn't 6 months ago. And then I started putting some stuff on my personal page as well, and found that reactions from my personal page were like massive. Because a lot of the time when you're following people, you follow as your own profile. So I just found that it was massive. I got a lot more feedback. I did get a couple of marriage proposals, but that's fine. I didn't take any notice of them either. We all get those, don't we, girls?
No, I don't.
Any marriage proposals? If anyone would like to marry Steph, please put it in the comments. She's taken up that. And Jim better comment now if you're right. So yeah.
That's the whole package.
If anyone would like to marry Debbie, also put it in the comments. Let's see your marriage proposal off. Should we do that? You can include me if you want as well. No, lads, leave it out, right? Okay, so a few marriage proposals. What else?
Don't take it too seriously. I think I used to take it more seriously than I did. Don't take it so seriously. If you're talking on your, like, everyone is reading from a script. I'm seeing people doing lives and they're reading from something that's on, like staring at the screen and stuff. If you know what you're talking about, as long as you've got a little bit of a structure to know what things you need to include into what your message is, then just talk like you talk to a normal person, because that's the same thing that you are doing. You're talking to a normal person just for a screen, because that's the only choice we've got at the moment.
Absolutely. So 3 tips from Debbie. Start making some noise. Go out there and make some noise. Tip number 2, personal page, don't be afraid. And tip number 3, don't take it too seriously. So some good tips there if you're liking those. You can put MSN for the make some noise. I think that's a good one there. Put personal page in the comments if you're now going to start going out there using your personal page, and don't take it too seriously in the comments if you love that one, or just tell Debbie you love her tips. Okay, so I love her tips, right?
You said tips, didn't you? Thank you.
Tell Debbie you love her tips. Oh no, right. Okay. So Stephanie, what are your tips? Top tips.
Top tips is video. Video, because you can build some of the best relations over video. I've got repeat clients that have been buying from me for like 3 years just off of videos, and I don't just video about products, I video about absolutely anything. A bit like what Debbie said, make noise. If I haven't got any products to film that day, or if we're not on a dispatch day, I will literally just get on Instagram or Facebook and do a video about anything that's going on in my life that day, whether I'm doing drop off with Freya or Jim's baking something or other in the kitchen sort of thing, which we know he normally is. Absolutely anything. And the relationships that you build these friendships with people, and your clients then want you to succeed because it's a friendship. Like, who doesn't want to see their friends succeed? And honestly, the amount of internet friends I have now that are also customers, and they come back constantly. Like, I will get emails that say, oh, I didn't even really need this product, but I just like watching you like grow as a business. That's in itself is just amazing.
What's amazing is how absolutely terrified of video you were. Like, I'm not being funny. You were terrified of video. You hated the idea of video. You smashed it using ads. So basically, when Stephanie come to us, right, and you said about the ADHD, but this is one thing I'll say, right, is when you're really interested in something, right, you're really interested in something, whatever the blocks are, whatever the challenges are, whatever the snakes are, for those of you that were watching my webinar the other night, when you're really interested in something, you get really passionate about it, you overcome it. And what you did with the ads is you smashed it. You threw yourself into it. You loved it. You worked hard. And then obviously you started to do that with the video, and you're doing really well from that. I always remember the social domination event that we did here at my house. And I told you at that event that you should turn your social media into a QVC channel, selling the products online. And this is the other thing about Steph, implementation. What did she do? She went and did exactly that. Bang. All right. And the results have been there to see. So she's done some great stuff. So great. So your first tip, video. That doesn't count as 4 tips. That counts as 1. What's tip number 2?
It's all just about trial and error constantly. Like, if you're going to put an ad out and it doesn't work, doesn't mean that every single ad isn't going to work. You have to just try and change it. It could be the image that doesn't work. The audience might not work. Constantly just trial and test it. I still set ads now and they might not work. So I just switch them off after a few days and I redo it, and I carry on redoing it, and I carry on redoing it until it works and it makes me money. If you're hungry enough, you will test 24/7 hours. Like, it's just non-stop.
Love it. That is a fantastic tip, because some people have this kind of, this is one thing that I've said about social media for years. Everyone wants it to be a magic wand, right? Everyone wants it to be a magic wand that creates some results really, really quickly, and they turn an ad on, all of a sudden they make money, right? The reality is, the reason people succeed is because of the tip that Steph has just given you there, right? It is all about trial and error. And this is the reality. You might think you've got the best ad in the world and it performs horrendously. You might think you've got the worst ad in the world and it performs amazingly. And sometimes it will surprise you. You know, you will start to understand the trends of what's the right copy, and there is process for copy that we teach. There is a process for imagery, right, as well, that we teach, and different things like that. There's processes for calls to action. But the reality is, if even you have all the processes in the world, we can give you all the advice in the world, if you don't go and pull the trigger, you ain't going to get the result. And sometimes you've got to pull the trigger, even if you don't know if it's going to work or not, and you've got to be willing to test it. And I think that's amazing advice there. So good shout with tip number 2. What's number 3 from you, Steph?
Ask for help. Just ask for help. I didn't have any help right at the start. And then I found help, and now look. There's nothing wrong with asking for help at all. And I do think that so many business owners don't actually want to ask for help because they somewhat feel that if they do, they failed, or they're not as good as that person they're asking. And I think that is so wrong. It's completely opposite to everything. Like look at everyone in our networking groups. Like, big businesses help so many people, all because we've each asked.
And you help each other. You help each
Yeah.
other all the time, which is really important. But you know what? I can honestly tell you, it is the trait of a successful person to be curious and to ask for help. It is the trait of a successful person. And if you are somebody that, and trust me, I know this because this is me back in the day, but take you back to 2008, I was pretty much drinking my own Kool-Aid, thought I knew it all. And I had a chip on my shoulder and I wanted to get everything right myself. And I didn't want any advice on that one. I wanted to just go out there and make it happen. And the reality is that probably cost me 3 years. Where I started getting results is when I started asking people. And I've got a friend that's Liam, who's another speaker in property, successful guy. Sometimes he's on these. Bit of a shout out to you, Liam. But Liam is one of the people that literally will ask non-stop, what do you do about this? What do you do about that? What do you do about this? What do you want to do? And literally he's got that curiosity for information and knowledge. And I think it is the trait of a successful person. Just not a lot of people know that, right? So you should be, and this is what makes me, sometimes people come on and don't ask a question. And, we've going a fair time now. We've got a lot of comments. I'm not going back a lot, right? But you should ask questions, right? Because if you watch this and you consume it, that's great. One, but if you just watch it and you just consume it and you go away from it, it's, I've got that tip. Well, you know what? You can be more incisive. Whatever your problem is, be incisive, go straight to the problem and get an answer on your issue. And when you start to think like that and you start to be more incisive and take more action and go after more, that's when you start to get more, right? So ask away and go and ask those questions. I think great tips. So we had Debbie say, make some noise. Don't be afraid of your personal page. Don't take it too seriously. We've got Steph reinforcing video. Steph talking about trial and error. And number 3, ask for help. So some great tips there. We've got so many comments. I'm going to go through a couple of them. What have we got here? There's tons. Make sure if you're just joining on, you're saying hello for us. I'm going to have to look in here. We've got a lot of people saying about business. So let me catch up here because we've got a lot there. So we've got lots of people saying, great advice, Steph. Great advice, Debbie. So Brooke is saying, I like this question. I like this question from Brooke. And you might have watched Brooke on the other day. He did one of the live videos. He's a good guy. He said, would you release content if you were not 100% happy with it?
Yes.
Steph? Yeah, absolutely.
I do it every day.
Yeah, absolutely, right? I'm glad we're all in agreement on that. Of course.
Yeah, totally.
The thing, if you are sitting there and you are waiting for something to be perfect, you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. Not in a million years, right? Take action, go out there, make it happen, put it out there. The quicker you do it, the better, right? Very, very important. And Amy's put that in the comments there as well. I've got Mirad saying, thanks, ladies. That makes sense. We've got Chris Lampich just joined. He's saying, hello, ladies. So we've got I've got Amy saying, Debs is now the live queen. Well, yeah, you're getting out there 100% and doing lots more lives, so you've done well there. We've got Amy saying, yes. And Joe Wicks has put, not marry Steph. Sorry, Steph. Right, okay. Oh, that's a bit of a neg there.
Wow.
Okay, but Joey's a lady, to be fair. Okay, so we've got Mary saying, thanks, Debbie. That's a big impact for me. Make some noise. I've done it, and it really does work. We've got Carolina that's joined on. We've got Claire, Amy, and Carolina saying MSM, 100%. Make some noise, baby. And we've got great tips from Deb. I've got so many comments here to catch up with. I'm just going to try and look for the next good question that we've got in there. And Claire saying, I've just asked for help. Amazing tips. So Carolina's asked a question. How can you get across all platforms without seeming repetitive? Will posting the same content deter people? So we've got Chris Cooks just joined on as well. So do you want to answer that one for us, ladies? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I don't think so, because I think different people are on different platforms. So, you know, some people Instagram, some people Facebook, some people. So I think if you can mix your content up, but it doesn't hurt to put it everywhere. Are we getting a chicken burger? I'm hungry.
I just saw that.
I'm
getting a chicken burger, but you ain't getting chicken burger.
I'm not getting a chicken burger. I think I'm off. I'm off now.
You prefer anyway, don't you?
I'm taking my tray and I'm off.
Okay, keep going, Deb. I threw you off, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I forgot what I said. Oh no, just from the point of view of like posting on different platforms. To make the noise, you have to post on the different platforms because there's a different audience on every single platform. So I post on my group, I post my business page, I post on my personal page, I put my videos onto YouTube because it's really good for the SEO. Literally, when I say make some noise, I'm in front of people. I think if he said to me the other day, Deb, every time I go on Facebook, you're there. But I was pretty silent for 4 years before that, so I'm making up for lost time.
You're making up for those 4 years.
Yeah, I am.
Sliding away. And we've got Amy saying you're really getting out there now, which is great. And we've got James is saying someone else can cook for her now. Okay. And Chris is saying if I hadn't met Jim, I would have Steph. I'm not quite sure on that what that one means there, Chris. A lot of people putting make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Well, thanks, Debbie. That's made a big impact for me. That one was from Mary. We've got Chris Cook saying top tips. They absolutely are. We're gonna have to do some of the multiple choice ones in just a moment, right? So a couple other quick questions. Can you do personal videos on your business page? I'll evolve this question. How do you feel, Steph? You mentioned about bringing some of your personal life into what you do. How do you feel about that? What do you want to say on that for someone that's running a business page? Would you go out there and put your personal stuff on there too?
My personal life's on there. If you follow me, you would have seen all sorts over lockdown, from gym cooking, us bickering on social media videos, just everything.
No, I would watch that. What was you bickering about?
Oh, we bicker about everything. If you I was always used to be really against putting personal things on business. Really, for some reason, I had this guard up that I didn't want people to know about my life. Purely because I felt that, say, if we were somewhere and it was a nice place, that then my clients would be like, oh, well, she's obviously making too much money. Like, well, I don't know why. I just assumed that people would get annoyed about us doing nicer things. And then I just remember one week I didn't have anything to post about. We was in the middle of production of something, so there wasn't any orders going out. And it was actually last Christmas. Jim had come home with this 7-foot snowman, and I just don't like stuff like that. And the snowman sat in my hallway, and I filmed it, and I had it was something like 6,500 story views. Yeah, just a little bit though. It would have definitely been taller than you. And honestly, I had people messaging me saying, "What's happened to the snowman? He's not in the hallway." I was like, he's outside. Like, why? But then people were like, oh, I've just placed an order. Like, can you do another one of Jim and the Snowman? Like, oh, has Jim done his Christmas lights? Oh, I've just placed an order. And I'd be like, why is anyone interested about Jim and his poxy bloody snowman? But I think people were just, it was interacting. Like
Steph and Jim on the live together.
No.
Please put that in the comments. So absolutely. So you agree with that. Debs, do you agree?
Yeah, totally. I want to know what the snowman is now. Can we not get the snowman in?
No, he's outside. He's not allowed inside.
That's good. They love watching your Instagram stories, Steph. So we've got, that was Claire that asked that question. Yes, I was going to ask the very same question, Claire. And we've got, I think Amy, is that Amy saying hyperfocus? I'm not 100% sure. I can't see the comments when they're on the group every single time. We've got people showing some love for the trial and error comments. We've got Chris Cook throwing out some social media advice in there as well. We've got someone saying no McDonald's talk. Okay, let's ask the first multiple choice question. All right, first multiple choice question. Well, it's not really a multiple choice. Okay, we'll go with McDonald's or Nando's. I'm going to mix it up. Which one for you?
McDonald's.
Nando's.
So you're going Nando's, are you?
Yeah.
And you're going McDonald's, Debbie, yeah?
Yeah, I've never had a good experience in Nando's, so I'm going to have to go with McDonald's.
Oh, we'll have to go Nando's then.
Okay.
Yeah. Never had a good experience. I've never had a bad experience in Nando's.
No.
I've only been twice.
And you put in the comments, you tell us if it comes down to it. You've got an option for McDonald's, you've got an option for Nando's. Where you're going? Which ones you like? Okay, and let us know. Absolutely. Let's have a quick look. I saw the same. So Dan Moses saying I post the same content across daily on different platforms, different people. Chris is saying loving the info, everyone. And Michelle Sims is saying I loved your Christmas decorations video, Stephanie. So it just shows you how many people are seeing different things there. And I think we've started a little bit of a debate here. And we've got people asking what are your Instagram handles. So I'll type them in. Do you want to give your Pretty and Personal one? Is it Pretty and then personal?
No, Pretty N Personal.
N Personal. So if you want to follow Steph on Insta, it's Pretty and Personal. Debbie, what's yours?
It's at Debbie Bry, BRY Coach.
Okay, so at Debbie
Bry, just BRY.
Yeah.
I've got the other one, Coach.
Okay, and you should be following me already. Hopefully you are, everybody. But if you're not, that is Adam at Adam Stott. It's Adam Stott Coach, and you can see a load of bits on there. Okay, so we've got a few people. So we've got Dan Cronkite saying McDonald's. We've got someone else saying Nando's. We've got someone saying neither as well. So we'll get into a few of these multiple choice ones before we wrap up, everyone, right? Because I've got some cool questions I wanted to ask you. Right, first one, say multiple choice. What is 3 business tools that you absolutely cannot live without? Let's start off there.
Oh, my phone.
Okay.
I hate to say it. My phone is one of them. Facebook, pretty much, because my business is based on Facebook. And my network of people. Okay. And I'm about to do a real life thing in that my charger's about to go, so my husband's just come down here to the office to bring me my charger for the laptop. So if you see someone moving around in a minute, that's what it is.
Is he going to come to hello? I don't think we've ever met.
No, he looks like the hooded monster. I don't know why he's got a hoodie on. Just come right away. We built this
office on tonight.
I know. We built this office at the top of the garden, and I forgot to bring the charger down. So
Debbie's 3 tools are our phone, Facebook, and a network. What are your 3 tools, Steph? There you go.
My phone, my social media, and probably just myself, like my mind, just like the creativity. I'd be pretty bad. I wouldn't have a business without my creative mind.
Okay. Right. So you're saying phone. Yeah. What was the second one? Social media and mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Because the reality is, if you've got your phone, you've got social media in your mind, you can make things happen. Right.
Yeah.
So I actually like that. That's good stuff. And yours too, Deb. Great stuff there. Okay. Good stuff. Let's have a look at some of the other questions we want to ask. What is a business tool you really think you need? If something could be invented, I just thought up this one for people that watch. There's a lot of people that love to, ideas for businesses and things. What kind of business tool, if it was invented, if you could actually wave a magic wand and have a business tool to help you run your business, what do you think you would want?
Oh my God, this is a hard one.
Come on, you've got your mind, Steph, remember? We've got that creative force there. We need to tap into that.
I think I'll have a helicopter. I'll have a helicopter so that I can get...
Helicopter. So, Deb, you've got a helicopter.
I definitely need a helicopter. Just so I can be where I need to be, go and see more people, get more people.
Okay, so you can see more. So you're going for a helicopter, so you can go and see more people. And tell me what it is, wherever you're watching, what would your business tool you think you need be, or that you would love? Go and put it in the comments. What about you, Steph? What we got?
I would love to have bigger machinery so I can kick out even more products to make even more money.
Okay, so for Steph, it's bigger machinery. Okay, good stuff. Awesome. A couple of multiple choice ones. Computer planning or pen and paper?
Pen and paper.
So you're going pen and paper. Remember to put in the comments what your one is. Computer planning or pen and paper for you, Steph?
Pen and paper.
So you're going to go pen and paper as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, got a couple of social media ones. Now, bear in mind, we're talking business here, all right? You can only have one. That's the rules. are we, if you can only have one, you can only market one, you can only advertise on one, although Facebook owns Instagram, so it's a bit different, a bit difficult. But which one do you prefer for business, Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Instagram, I guess now.
Okay, so you're going Instagram, and Debs, you're going with Facebook. Okay, give me a reason why, quick reason why, and everybody else put in your comments whether you're more of a Facebook person or whether you're more of an Instagram person. Give me a reason why.
Facebook, I find it easier to grow a following. So I've got a page that's got a following of like 26,000. With Instagram, I find it hard to do the following. So I just got used to being on Facebook. I pushed myself to go onto Instagram now to kind of conquer Instagram. But Facebook is where I get most of my business from and most of my attention.
Okay, it certainly is easier to grow a following on Facebook. That is true. But not, no. Steph, what about yourself?
Instagram, because you can build relationships with influencers and celebrities really, really easily. Okay,
awesome. A nice bit of advice there. If you want to get a top tip or you want to ask a question on influencers, throw it in the comments for Steph. Okay, so we're going to mix it up here. TikTok or Snapchat?
TikTok, but I'm not. I'm a lurker on TikTok.
You're a lurker.
Yeah, I'm a lurker. I don't get on TikTok, but I do look at it.
I'm a TikTok stalker.
You're a TikTok stalker as well. Isn't it funny? Because I was with someone the other day and they were sitting there and they were absolutely going through TikTok like crazy and actually showing me, what it's all about and going through it. And I've never been a lurker on TikTok, but actually you can find it quite entertaining. So you're both TikTok over Snapchat. Give me a reason why quickly.
I don't understand Snapchat. Just don't.
No, I think that's for the young kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think it's for the youngsters more, Snapchat?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with TikTok. TikTok have an ads platform now that you can use ads and stuff as well. Put in what you prefer in the comments, whether you're a TikTok or a Snapchat person for business. Okay, so we've got the heavyweight one coming up now. We're getting there. Is LinkedIn or Twitter for business?
Ooh. Probably LinkedIn, although I'm still, because I'm so heavily on Facebook, my LinkedIn is quite weak because that's my mission to build that up in 2021.
So you want to build your LinkedIn up in 2021, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie?
I don't use either of them.
You don't use either? If you
I don't like them. I just...
Okay. So your new business is wholesaling for personalisation companies. And so if you were going to look to take on one of these channels for developing that business, which one of these channels would you choose first?
Twitter. Wouldn't be LinkedIn for the clientele that I'm going for.
Okay, so you go for Twitter. Okay, let us know in the comments where you're at. Okay, best ad ever run. Quick description of the best ad you've ever run.
I done one for a beach cover up, and we made 60 grand off of the back of it.
Nice.
I think we spent about £2,000 on it.
Okay, so
and I still use it now.
Okay, 2 grand into 60 grand. Who would like, if you'd like a bit of 2 grand into 60 grand, put a big hell yeah in the comments. Okay, and Debs, what about you?
Oh, so many to think of. I think the best one that we did was I was looking at the first one that I did really, which was the hotel for the mini breaks. So we managed to fill every weekend with people to come down for prospecting for a free stay and then a prospecting call. We probably had about 60 people every weekend that were booked in for them to have sales calls. Okay. So they come down, have a visit, have a free presentation, and we got 60 people every weekend booked in. We literally couldn't fit any more people in.
Awesome. Okay. Slow, manageable growth or work well under pressure?
Work well under pressure. I'd like to be the best one. It's not me.
Yeah, I like work well under pressure.
Absolutely. So me too. So we've got 3, work well under pressure. What's the one thing that gets you taking action?
If I say money, I was going to say money. Sales really, like making a sale.
Brutal honesty coming through tonight. Brutal honesty coming through, saying just it's all about the money, right? Absolutely. A couple of the ones I've asked before, but it's good to get your opinions on. Do it yourself or delegate it?
Do it yourself.
DIY or DI? Put it in the comments. Tell us what you're thinking. Debs?
I have a tendency to do it myself because I think I'm better, but I'm learning to delegate.
Okay, good stuff. Repeat business or new business?
I'll repeat.
No.
Okay, so you're new. Debbie's repeat. Okay. More important, being driven or being focused?
Focused.
Driven.
You two are like literally the opposite. Okay, sell online or in person?
What is your favourite or the most successful?
Yeah, whatever.
Favourite in person.
In person.
Online.
We've got two polar opposites, complete polar opposites here going on. Confidence or competence? What's more important?
Yeah, confidence.
Confidence.
Okay, we've got agreement on confidence. 100%. Very, very important to have the confidence. Flexi hours or full routine?
Flexi hours?
Yeah, I'm flexi hours.
Okay, it's interesting because most people that come on, I've asked that question a few times now. Most people saying the same one. Knowledge or enthusiasm?
Oh, enthusiasm.
Yeah, I agree. Enthusiasm. You can learn, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't enthusiasm.
Okay, so you feel that because you can learn whatever it is, the enthusiasm, absolutely. Partnerships or solo?
Solo.
Solo.
So we've got solo.
My tips for partnerships is my dad says to me, partners are for dancing, not for business. So I'll go with that.
Business. Okay, absolutely. Right, podcasts or books?
Books.
What do you mean? Oh, are you tired, Stephanie?
Books probably.
So you're going to go books, yeah? Okay, so make sure you're coming along, telling us what one. Why books?
I get bored during podcasts, like, let's be honest.
This is going on my podcast, Stephanie.
Okay. I do love a podcast. I'm so busy. I just don't get time to sit down and listen.
I'm only teasing you.
I like a podcast if I'm driving. So if I'm driving and I can listen to a podcast, and that's a good way of going through it. But yeah, I couldn't sit still and just listen to a podcast.
Okay.
No.
So both going books. Favorite lesson from Gold Circle or big business events in general? What's been really good for you? I think you was with us in 2000 and I thought you were in 2014. You said 2016, Steph. But it was longer than that. But however long it is, been with us a number of years, learned a lot of lessons along the way. What's been the most important for you, would you say, just to share with other people?
The one we done on the last event before the lockdown, like what we were going to do during the lockdown, basically, like our goals, how we was going to achieve them, what the outcome of them was going to be. I think that was I loved that one.
Oh, did you really love that? Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I showed everyone a really, really good planning process in how to make sure you basically achieve any goal. And did you achieve what you set out to achieve?
Yeah, one of them was to set up trade clients with us. Yeah. That got done. We've already started taking orders for that. The other one was for the wholesale side. We've already got that in motion. Yeah,
absolutely. So you got those done. Okay, what about you, Debs?
I really enjoyed that one before the lockdown as well, actually. So now I forgot about that one. I was going to say the one that sticks in my mind is the branding one, where we were talking about branding ourselves personally and branding business. But I think because that's something that I didn't really do previously, I didn't really brand myself. I just kind of
99% of entrepreneurs don't understand the value, don't understand it. But once you get it right, once you get branding right, you can crush it, right? You know, absolutely. Very quick one. Top thing to keep you motivated, and if you're following along, I know we've got like tons, like we've got literally lots of comments coming in. I haven't looked at them just for the last moment, so I'm going through these. But tell us what keeps you motivated in the comments, ladies. What we saying? Top thing to keep us motivated?
Money.
Nice. It's not helping people, Steph.
Yeah, but no. It's not that. What keeps me motivated, I guess, is Freya, but the freedom that I get to spend with her comes from money. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Debs?
What keeps me motivated is just growing, really, just kind of like getting successes. So for every time I get a new client, and then it helps them to kind of grow their business and stuff like that. So that gives me a win, and then it just makes me want to do more and to get more clients and more wins.
That's made my answer look really bad now.
No, that's more inside stuff. Don't worry.
Oh, she's buried you. Right, favorite business we had loads of book recommendations so far. Ladies, a business book or a book that you love?
I'm so dreading these two questions. So the only business book I've ever read is The Rich Dad Poor Dad. So that's my favorite.
Only book you've ever read?
Yeah, the only one.
Really?
Yeah. If I read, I want to read like on a holiday on a beach, and so it's not business.
Okay, Steph.
I read a book called Boss. It was like Boss Girls in Business or something, and it was written by a woman who basically started from nothing and just carried on climbing. And it was all about her life. It was really interesting because it wasn't so much like how to run a business, and it was just how her world evolved into it.
Okay, was that really good? Yeah, what was it called? Boss Babes in Life.
Yeah, no, it was like boss girl boss. Yeah, girl boss or something like that. I've still got it upstairs.
Okay, good stuff. Nice. And if you're liking the girl power tonight, we've got two ladies on again tonight. You've got to put girl power in the comments for us. Absolutely. So favorite business film or business show that you've ever watched, or a show that just film or a show that gets you motivated and inspired. What would you say to that one, ladies?
I would say I love The Apprentice and Dragon's Den. Those two are my real favourites. Not really. I say like a Wolf of Wall Street. It's not really a business one, but just to give me a get out is like I only watch films on a plane. Like if I'm traveling, I watch a plane. I don't watch films.
I like the little suggestion there, Wolf of Wall Street. Great film, fantastic film. Okay, Steph, what about you?
I'm watching at the moment, and I think it is another one called Boss Babes on Netflix. Yeah. And it's following two influencers in New Zealand, watching them build product companies on social media. It's really, really interesting.
Okay. Really good, yeah? What's it called again?
But I'm sure it's Boss Babes. Okay. I'll have a quick look.
It's really good, is it?
Yeah, it's all because it's all to do with social media.
Good stuff. Okay, well, while you look that up, I'm just literally reeling out these comments. Got a lot of people saying Insta. We've got some for Facebook. It seems like it's pretty level on Instagram, Facebook. We've got lots of people saying computer planner. We've got people saying CRM for the business tool that they need. Louise saying Facebook. Then we got a lot of TikToks there, and a couple of neithers. And then we had a few people going for LinkedIn, a few people going for Snapchat. Very, very mixed bag overall. We've got hell yeah going in there. Boom, go on, Steph. So we've got some support going there. Tons of people answering these different questions. So what I would say is we're coming to the end tonight, ladies. There's loads of comments there that you can go back to. Have a read of them afterwards. There's a lot of people that have shown their support. There's a lot of people saying girl power. At this stage, if you've been watching all the way through, you can go and comment a big A player for us in the comments so we can see those of you that have watched. This has, by the way, ladies, been the longest one to date.
I just realised how long.
Yeah, so you have overtaken. Who was the longest one before? It was Chris Lampitt and Brooke. So you have you've overcome the boy power and moved fully into girl power. Does that make you feel proud?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's Chris Lampitt took a long time. Well good, Chris. Thanks, Chris.
Right, so you done well there, right? Okay, so done really well. We've had a lot of people sending messages of support and saying great things. We've had a lot of people on pretty much the whole way through. So if you've been an A player, you watched all the way through, go and put A player. If you came on a little bit later, and you can go in there and put B player, if you've been engaging and commenting away tonight. If you've just come on right at the end and you listen to me now thinking, what are you on about? Then put C player in the comments so we can identify yourself. So ladies, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you? If people want to get in touch with you, where would you suggest for them to go? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people tonight that want to look at some of the products that you do, Stephanie. Why don't you say a couple of the products you do? Tell people about some of the stuff you do. So you've got some awesome stuff. Like I order a lot of stuff off of Stephanie, a lot of stuff off of Jim, our other half, who's got a company called Brandit. We do a lot of the business stuff with them. They're fantastic. And Steph's personalised stuff. Tell them about some of the Christmas presents and things that they can go and get from you right now. We won't say BBC ad, but we give a bit of information.
So our biggest item at the moment is obviously we do personalised Christmas pyjamas for the family. They're like flying out at the moment. And then we can do gift bags for all the presents to go in, and then like makeup bags, toiletry bags, weekend holdalls, all sorts.
You do some cool boxes. You're still doing the boxes this year as well?
Yes, but we have completely sold out.
You completely sold out the boxes. What are the bags like? Are you doing the big bags for all the presents and stuff like that?
Yes, we're doing all the personalised sacks and everything. Anything Christmas related, we're pretty much doing, and we're taking orders right up until the 12th of December for pre-Christmas delivery as well. So
awesome.
Loads of time.
Loads of time. Okay, good stuff. Where's the best place for people to get in touch with you and speak to you, Steph?
Probably on Instagram or just through my personal Facebook through the Messenger is fine. I'm always on my phone, so
you can go and hit Steph up. Debs, what about yourself? What's the best place for people to go and get in touch with you?
Through personal messenger. On Facebook, probably the easiest, or if you're on Instagram, Deborah Bryan Coach. So again, I've got my phone in my hand 24/7. It feels like, so I'm always there.
Good stuff.
I'm going to help somebody.
Good stuff. We've got lots of people saying thank you. Lots of people really, really enjoyed it this evening. Look, you've been brilliant. You've both been a lot of fun. I think you've given some great ideas, some great content, some great tips. Without a shadow of doubt, you've both made massive progress. So well done to both of you. You're superstars. Big thank you. So we've got to do this thing where we do like an awkward Zoom wave. So do you want to kick us off, Stephanie? So you've got to wave goodbye, darling. Keep going. Keep going.
No, I'm not going to keep doing
No, I'm only playing. Right, okay. Thanks everyone for watching tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you all very, very soon. It's been great. Join on at the end. Go back and watch it because there's a lot of good content on this tonight. It's been awesome seeing you all this evening. Goodbye, everybody, and see you very soon.
Thanks, Adam.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.